Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 661. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Sillner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. This week we're testing our knowledge and our brain age. Kind of, not really. Something else. We're gonna check our IQ with Intelligent Qube, the the original block puzzle video game. I guess. More on that later. Matt, what's what's your first puzzle game?
Probably Tetris
Yeah,
on the
probably
Game
Tetris.
Boy.
Do you feel like if it had been like Puyo Puyo or one of those that you would be a or a Puyo Puyo person instead of a Tetris person?
I don't know. Cause I mean, so on Super Nintendo, I did have Tetris Attack, and I think that had elements of Puyo in it.
Yeah. There's there's something in there.
Um,
'Cause what do they call Puyo?
yeah, I don't remember. I know
What
there's an
they
element of
call 'em?
Tetris Attack that's not fully. Yeah, it's like a block. It's more like a block chain thing. It's like Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I had
Yeah, they
that on.
brought in some of that.
I had Super Nintendo, or I had this on Super Nintendo. I played this for a bit, but I think Tetris just I don't know stuck.
Tetris, yeah, it's simple, straightforward. Do you usually go for puzzle games? What's your puzzle game reach?
Um, it, I think like the clear the board puzzle games. I can't break my brain from Tetris, so I have a hard time getting into those per se. But like the more modern type of puzzle game, I find myself enjoying if they hit the right tone. Something akin to like a Portal 2.
Hmm.
Um, those games, I forget the developer, but like Limbo, Inside, those types of
Oh, yeah,
games.
Play Dead.
Play Dead, yeah. They were alright, good times. But like stuff like that, stuff where like it doesn't appear to be like a puzzle game on the surface, but if you had to give it a
It
genre,
isn't. Yeah.
puzzle is like it's got to be in it. Um,
Where do you fall on Sudoku?
I ride waves with. I like it a lot, and then like find an app. I clear easy boards, normal boards, and I start to get the hard boards, and I'm like, ugh, and I fall off of it. And then I find myself like, oh, what's like Sudoku? Um, Picross. Picross. Start doing
Oh
that,
yeah.
doing that, doing that, and then like I'll just hit a wall with one puzzle over a couple days, and then I stop. And then I forget about both of them, and now you mentioned Sudoku, so I'll be in bed tonight playing Sudoku, and that'll be the cycle begins.
I would recommend Good Sudoku on. I know it's on iOS because it's an Apple Arcade thing. It's by Zach Gage. Um, it's very good Sudoku because it is Sudoku, but there's some stuff that like speeds up some of the tedious parts of it. And you can play like a classic mode. The classic mode's really good too. But there's in good Sudoku, there's stuff to just like kind of autofill things that you'll
Mm.
know, but it also does a good job of like teaching you deeper ways to look at the board and get a little bit better at Sudoku. I like that one a good bit. Um, yeah, I generally I enjoy a good puzzle game, and I think I played a lot of Intelligent Cube on the PSP for this um, episode, and I think like a portable system is really really great for a puzzle game. Something like this where you can jump in and do a few rounds, die, move on, try again, etc. Intelligent Cube, developed by G Artists. published by Sony Computer Entertainment, released on the PlayStation November 17th, 1997 in North America. Back of the box. Think you're smart? This addictive 3D brain twister puts your strategic thinking skills and reflexes to the ultimate test. Destroy oncoming geometric terrors before they push you over the edge or squash you flat. You'll need a quick mind and even quicker thumbs. If you fail, you die. No pressure. Hundreds of challenging puzzles to conquer, 1 or 2 player competition. In-game video instructions and demo included. You can create your own puzzles for a continuing challenge and change cube textures and colors. PS Extreme says the best elements of strategy, quick responses, and edge of your seat suspense in one highly addictive puzzle game. Game Informer calls it a gaming frenzy that challenges you. And there you have it. Intelligent Qube. We said it up front. Intelligent Qube is a puzzle video game. But I don't think the back of the box quite sums up how the game works. So it's a puzzle game where you're in control of a little character. I'll say character because you can change who you play as. But you're a little character on a board or a grid. It starts off with like a 4x12 maybe. And basically rows of cubes start to roll towards you. And you need to remove blocks before they hit the edge of that grid and fall off. Otherwise, if any blocks fall off that shouldn't have fallen off, you'll lose one of those layers. And you only have so much room before cubes will come down and squish you or knock you off the edge and you'll lose a life, or not even, you'll game over. We'll dive more into specifics in a minute, but is there anything broader that I'm missing, or?
No, I think this is one of those ones where like we can explain it. I think we'll get the point across, but like once you see it, you'll get it.
Yeah. Once you get your hand on it, it'll take a minute to figure out, I think. Like, it definitely made it. I didn't get it right away.
Well, they have those good voiceover demos.
Those demos. Did you use the demos?
I didn't use the demos, but I did watch the videos. Yeah, sorry. I meant to say what you said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really neat. I added this one to the list, and I selected it because looking back at the PS1. So, did I talk about Astrobot in any of these PS1 episodes?
It's all a blur.
I don't think I did.
If you did mention it, I think it was at the top of the season when you were explaining the theme.
Then I'm not repeating myself too much. Obviously, I selected half of my games for this season were PS1 games, and I did so because I think the PS1. I think today we see a lot of. We just talked about this last week, but like we see a lot of risk aversion in AAA development and first-party development, and I think we see a lot of games that are. They rarely do things that are like new and weird, and the PS1 for me was a time where we got so much of that, and where today's games, you kind of, they're good, you're satisfied, like games can still surprise you and you can enjoy them. I think there was such a thrill about the PS1 with what developers were starting to create and wanting to create. And while I think there's some current trends that kind of influenced me to push toward the PS1 for this season, Astrobot was another thing. Seeing all of that nostalgia kind of baked right into the core of the series, and where you'd unlock the little robot buddies that all had the different like franchise personalities and things like that. it just kind of really pushed me over the edge of like, yeah, we had so many cool things and so many weird ones that I hadn't seen. Um, Specifically, I looked at stuff that Sony had been publishing because Sony published so much. They just threw their money at all of these things, um, and they were putting out some weird ones. Intelligent Cube is one. It's in Astrobot. There's a representation of it in there, but it's another one that Sony published, and like, just I'd never played it outside of like opening it up and not really getting what I'm supposed to do, and then kind of moving on. Um, so it was one that I wanted to play. It's one that like I feel like people who've played it and like it, they talk about it fondly or they look back on it fondly, but I don't really remember. Or I just don't have any of the personal experience with it. Um, so I wanted to see it for that reason. There's also a game we'll talk about later on that I played and liked a lot that drew not direct inspiration from in terms of gameplay, but inspiration in terms of some of the like bigger conceptual design that kind of threw me back to that. Uh, when I added this one to the list, what did you know of the
I
game?
didn't
What's
know.
your familiarity with? No, not at
I
all.
didn't know. I didn't know what this was. Uh, and then your little thing had footage of it, and slightly confused, having zero context on what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I knew nothing of it, so I was excited to play something weird.
Yeah. Um, yeah, me too. I'm glad that we finally got to see it. So let's jump into gameplay. What are the main rules of the game?
Um, you are trying to clear the appropriate blocks, but and not taking out the intelligent blocks. And you may ask, how does one do that? With the X button, you pretty much put down the equivalent of a landmine, and the cubes will roll over it as it comes down the board. And you must time your X hit to detonate the landmine to clear out a cube. And that is it. Besides two other blocks, you have black forbidden blocks.
Forbidden. Yep.
You cannot destroy them. If you do, you lose a row off the pathway, which essentially gives you less rolls or time to clear out the cubes. And then you have your green blocks, which I forgot what they're called. Shoot, sorry.
Advantage cube.
Advantage cubes. You have your advantage cubes, and if you detonate them, they give you a secondary mine, but have a bigger area of effect. It's a 9 square, 9 square with the where the advantage cube was detonated at being in the middle of that 9 square. And then that has its own button that is mapped to, and then you detonate. And then if you have multiple of them on the floor or at the same time, they all detonate at the same time. So there is some strategy, a puzzle game. Well, who would have thought? To not destroying the forbidden cubes when using them, and only the gray cubes.
Yeah, you've got to be really careful because you can definitely get overzealous and zap a forbidden cube by accident. Um, so you've talked about the penalty for destroying a forbidden cube. What about missing a gray cube or a what is it? That's the standard normal cube. What if you miss a normal cube or an advantage cube and they roll off the edge?
You get some. I forgot how the game defined it, but you get some kind of strike. Like you get like a strike counter, and it's not always 3. I think it goes up to like to 4 or 5 or something like that, depending on the level.
Yeah. Yeah, in the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a little meter with rectangles.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 3, 4, whatever. But every time one block falls off, that adds. Or is it one block or like
I think it's 1 block.
a row? Oh, okay.
I think it's what.
So
So
if
yeah,
two fall off in
2.
a row, then yeah. So if that happens, you exceed how many you're allowed to drop, then that furthest row will completely fall off, and then like Matt said, you're kind of stuck with fewer steps clear the board with. If you fall off the stage, which is very easy to do if you have chipped away at your available playfield, game over. There's also, I'm trying to think of the rest of the UI. I know that's a little bit more into visuals, but the other part is in the top right. It's kind of insignificant, but I guess if you're chasing score, there's like an optimal number of moves to make to clear the blocks out. Um, and you can kind of watch that to, I don't know. I don't feel like I paid too close attention to that. Did you
I
rely on that at
didn't. I
all?
didn't even know what it was when I started playing until after the fact. I will say I can see that being useful when you're really messing up and you're like looking at how much time or cubes in that
Yeah.
column you have, and you're like, oh boy, I gotta step it up on this run.
Yeah. Um, but I otherwise didn't use it too much. Um, I That's it, man. I mean, it's eight stages, I guess, and then there's a final stage. And each of those eight stages kind of have waves of puzzles that come at you, and you'll kind of graduate as you uh, clear the board each time. Is there a defined number of waves per stage? Is it always four?
I think so.
Or yeah, I can't remember if it's always four or not. I feel like some of those middle ones kind of, and you end up playing some of these more than one time, where
Yeah.
it's a little tricky that I don't remember exactly. But yeah, um, with that though, I mean, you can get better scores uh, by doing well, but I
Oh,
don't know.
we
I
didn't
didn't
explain the perfect
necessarily.
mechanic.
Oh yeah, sorry. That is
So
always
yeah,
final.
so we talked about all the penalties for screwing up, but if you perfect all the forbidden blocks fall off, you successfully tackle all the gray and green. Um, Once everything rolls off, it'll be considered a perfect, and then you will be given another row back. So
Yes.
the equivalent of like more time to clear out any of these blocks that are coming down. So yeah, so doing it right rewards you as well. It's not just a game of survival. So if you
Yeah,
have like
that's
a
a good point.
bad start, you can rebound and
Yeah, you can get there pretty quickly.
yeah.
Um, I just double checked. It's four waves per stage,
Okay.
so total of 32 plus the final stage. Um, yeah, you do get an IQ after clearing or losing or whatever, um, which is calculated. This is in the manual. It's calculated using points multiplied by the number of stages cleared divided by a number related to the difficulty level. Because you can adjust difficulty level, you can adjust speed in which the cubes roll as well. I think that's the four face buttons, right? It's to mark and detonate is X. Triangle is when you have uh,
Is
I guess
detonating the
detonated
advantage
or
cube
whatever the advantage
mines.
cube, and you're going to then use that area of effect attack. Square speeds up the rotation of the cubes across the board, and then what is circle? I don't think circle does
I don't think
anything, does it?
circle had a button.
Yeah, no. Um, yeah, 999 is the highest achievable IQ. Did you ever get 999?
No, no.
But yeah, you get your IQ when you've cleared all of the stages or if you fall off the grid. Um, and there's that. There are a couple different modes. There's normal game mode, and then there's original mode that becomes available after you clear the game. And in there, you can choose difficulty level, which changes the speed of the rotation as well as the time after the pause time after cubes have been eliminated. Um, you get a score, but not an IQ there. And then there's two-player mode. I did not try two-player mode. Did you?
Did not.
But that one is alternating turn-based match between two players. You have to clear the puzzle with perfect in that, and if not, um, it's kind of like horse, where if I clear it with if I don't clear it with a perfect, you face the same puzzle, and if you clear it with a perfect, then it keeps rotating that way. I don't know. Are there any specific stages or anything you want to call it? Not that there's like a.
No, I will say as you go through the stages, because it's like you kind of described, you go through stages and then levels. As the levels go up, the width of the board increases. So I think it starts with 4, if I'm not mistaken, and then I don't know the largest it goes. I didn't have the opportunity to beat this all the way through, but I think in like stage 5, it was like 6 wide for me.
Yeah, I don't think it goes much further than 6. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's that as time, or as the levels progress. Um, and then I feel like they send more rows down at a time as well. Again, things do increase the difficulty. But then like I said, like it feels like at first with the advantage cubes, like they're they're a nice way to get through things faster. You'll kind of see that they start to become a necessity as the levels go on, and how to utilize them in the best way possible. Because you just don't have the time and space to do every single cube one at a time.
No, you've really got to like prioritize and plan out your attack, which if you keep the speed low, you can like come up with a pretty good strategy on the fly. And I think the more you play this, the more it starts to click where it you can kind of see the blocks fall and know, oh, okay, I'm gonna drop a mine here, wait for it to roll. I can take out that. Whoops, I hit a forbidden cube. Okay. Did you have like a typical game session for this? Like for me, I felt like, and I've played it a little bit all over the place. Like I played it um, on PS5, like they added it to the classics catalog. I played it on Vita, PSP. So obviously my save isn't not that you
Yeah.
can like transfer your save in that
Well,
sense, but like it doesn't super matter. But like
there is a memory card option.
there is, um, but in terms of session, like I've kind of like jumped in and done it a little bit all over the place. Sometimes it's been okay. I've got 5 minutes to kill. I'll just do some intelligent cube. Others, it's been we're playing this for the podcast. I need to sit down and just spend an hour with it. You know what I mean? Like, did you have an approach you felt like worked or?
I, I it's tough to have an approach when I didn't have time to have an approach. um, I kind of shot myself in the foot here with this game, unfortunately, because I think I would have spent a lot of time, more time than I did with. Obviously, I played enough to talk about it. I did play for a couple hours in one sitting, but I would have loved this on like. Well, I mean, it's a PlayStation game, so like I guess Vita or PSP. I was like, I would love this on 3DS, having like the top screen be the board, and then like the bottom screen be information and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, like something portable. This would have been awesome, where I would be just like on the couch during an Orioles game, or in bed, just as like a last thing, before like head hitting the pillow per se. But yeah, I could have easily seen this becoming like the dumb, like going into my Sudoku pick cross habits of like hitting that stuff.
Yeah, that was my like final run up to recording, was just a couple minutes before bed or like over coffee one morning, just playing on PSP, just like do a couple rounds, see how far I can go, and then if I get interrupted and have to turn it off for what it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? Just roll with it. Moving into visuals a little bit. Did you know there are 3 characters?
I didn't know about the characters. Are they part of the theme? Because I never changed the theme or whatever they call it in the options menu.
There, you unlock them.
Ah,
Um, so there's Elliot is the default, Cynthia, and Spike the dog. Um, so yeah, you unlock them by doing subsequent playthroughs, and then by beating the game once, you unlock that original mode, and that's where you can create your own puzzles.
okay.
Um, and then yeah, you pointed out changing the block design. I also did not do that, but you can change block designs within the game. Some of the blocks, not the blocks themselves change, but you do get like different colors down the line. I think it's like stage
Yeah.
6 or 7 is like a nice bronze color.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I noticed the actual like cubes change colors as the stages went on.
yeah, I can't. Let me see if.
But like in terms of the look though, I like this is one of those games where like yeah, it's a 3D game. This easily could have been a 2D top down or like
Yeah,
isometric. I mean, this kind of is isometric, but like really isometric, like with sprites. Like
yeah, it did not need to be a little 3D guy, but it fits. Yeah, it's got a little bit of like Plax. Is that the game? KLAX,
oh,
where you're kind of yeah, Clax. Clax is sort of like
oh, okay.
yeah, it's like a four. Think of Guitar Hero for all you Guitar Hero heads out there, except instead of notes coming at you, it's blocks, and then you're moving left to right to sort of, I think like knock them out before they come down. It's not quite Clax, but you know, kind of in a way. You're playing with blocks moving down a stage. Um, Overall though, like I like the look of the game. It's simple. There's not a ton to it.
Yeah, there's
But
nothing.
I think it just works.
There's
Keeps
nothing.
the
Oh, go ahead.
no, it just keeps you're focused on the gameplay. You know, it's easy.
Yeah, that's what I was pretty much just going to say the same thing. Where like it like the black background keeps the focus on the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear as day to see where your mine is and when you detonated it. It's clear even in the traffic all the cubes where there's the good like standout lime green arrow where the mines are to remind you where they're at, so you don't have to constantly keep track of that. Like despite this being visual, the graphics stick out. I think due to the simplicity, um, and then are good aids.
Yeah. There is a final cutscene when you clear the game. Did you look that one up?
No, I didn't even know there. I would have looked it up. I didn't think there would be one.
It shows it's completely different from this. I'm gonna see if I can find you a video of it so you can just see it. Um, but you just sort of it plays this little weird video of the world being created.
Okay, I was about to say, is it like some kind of weird oh. What's the what the hell's the name of that game? It's on the list. It came with a PlayStation vibrator thing.
Oh, Rez?
Res, yeah, is this something like Res? Yeah, like Zone X prequel thing you get?
Not entirely, but yeah, it's a weird little cutscene. I'm not finding a video of it at all.
Sorry.
I'll find it later. Yeah, it's a bizarre little. Um, Sound. Uh, the music in this game's really good.
Yeah.
Like super intense comparatively. Um, Not that the gameplay isn't, but yeah, it's bizarre. Um, were there any other like sound effects that stood out to you or anything like that? Like,
Not sound effects, but again, kind of going back to how I felt about Tomba. Was not expecting there to be a voiceover at all in this game. I thought I was gonna hit the little
no,
like tutorial thing, and it's gonna be like arrows or some text saying what to do, which is what a lot of games from this era do. And he's like, a forbidden cube is like, oh, what the fuck?
yeah, I didn't even expect those types of like. Yeah, usually you read the manual in this game in these types of games, and that's about as best you're gonna get. You might have an attract mode, but yeah, there's. Do you want to talk about It's what, three tutorials and then three demos that play?
Yeah, I never looked at demos. I was like, oh, I'll figure that. I guess I'll figure this out live. But I mean, yeah, the videos are pretty self-explanatory. Like, it never really. Maybe the first one does. But like the first one goes into light details and how to like address and attack the game. And then there's just two other tutorials. One specifically for forbidden cubes, and one specifically for the advantage cubes. And they're like little, like not even 2 minute little videos that show gameplay, and it's a dude, very frank voice, telling you what they do.
I like them though. They're like baked right in. They run in engine or whatever, they like pre-recorded them. It's something like you might see today, but this seems odd for a PS1 game. I
Seems
really appreciate
odd
it.
for this game.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. But I feel like I don't remember anything like this in like a Crash Band, like any of the other like PS1 era stuff that was big and popular. Like
No,
you wouldn't have gotten this level of tutorialization.
no, unless you're Metal
Um,
Gear and Otacon's telling you to hit the X button.
yeah. Uh, what did you like about Intelligent Cube?
I think it's like I love when puzzle games have this really cool difficulty, like simple to mastery curve to it, where like super easy to pick up, super easy to get the fundamentals, and like you feel like you're making progress like almost immediately. And then kind of like once you get that next level of width, I think you see where the game wants you to go. And then it's from there just getting the experience to like master when like what frontline blocks you should get, which mines you should put down for the advantage cubes when you got that moment to breathe to do that. Also, like like when the boards get more difficult, you have to navigate your person around. You kind of can't get them in a dead end, like so you have to kind of always have that path forward cleared as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I no, I enjoy that. I think this game has that curve. And like I said, it's just like I think it's unique as well. Um, I think of one other game of blocks and it requires climbing, and we're going to talk about it here in a few weeks.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wasn't even thinking. Yeah, good call. Um, yeah, I like again, like you can pick up and play this whenever on whatever device. I think having it on a PSP or a Vita or whatever makes it easy. This is available. This was like one of the what I forget how many they did, 20 or 30 games they put on the PlayStation Classic. You can play it there if you bought one of those. Um, yeah, I think it's solid. I think the only thing I'd want out of it is more of it. But again, like the more you play, the more you unlock within the game. And there are some sequels, so there's more Intelligent Cube out there as well. Was there anything you didn't like about it?
I mean, not really. I maybe I wish there was like another mode, but I don't know what you do.
Yeah,
Like and like
yeah,
I could sit here and say like, oh, a time attack mode, but I wouldn't have played it. I probably would have just stuck with the main campaign anyway. So
Yeah.
I failed to, I failed to think of something else to add to it.
I know, like, for a little while, like, without going, I think the tutorials are nice because they teach you what you need to know. Going into this raw, I had a really tough time figuring out that I was supposed to clear the blocks. I kept just trying to get the green ones,
Mm.
the advantage cubes, and then being like, why am I losing? Yeah, why am I not advancing super well? Um, but that's something you learn in time. Um, what do you think this game adds to the PlayStation library?
That is just another unique game on the library. Like, we just don't get stuff like this anymore.
No, it's so rare. Um, and I feel like, I don't know, man. I'm always chasing stuff like this. I think you've got to go into the recesses of the PlayStation library to find it. Um, Final question, I think. Where do you see this game's influence in later games? One I'm thinking of was Humanity that came out a couple years ago. That was published by Enhance, the people behind Tetris Effect. Um, you control a little dog and you kind of like lead people like lemmings from point A to point B. And there's a lot of puzzles within kind of a cubic. It's similar like isometric view, but totally different. If you've not played Humanity, I would recommend checking that one out. There's
I'm part
a
of that
cool,
population.
yeah, cool campaign out in that one. Um, yeah, you mentioned another one. I don't know if you want to tip the hand yet
Oh, I
on that.
mean, I think we talked about it already, but like, I maybe it's because it's coming up, but Catherine is what I think of, like, because again, it's cubes. I think it's just, I think it's that, like, literally pulling out the platforms that are like cubic, and having
Yeah.
different platforms and types where like ones you can't pull. I haven't actually picked it up yet for recording, but like from what I remember of it, there's different ledges and what you can and can't do with them, and things with that. It's just a little bit more fast paced, I believe, than this. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta move a little bit more more interactive with the cubes rather than the ground and manipulate. Yeah, but still playing with that geometry. Um, yeah. I don't know, final thoughts on Intelligent Cube before we rank it.
it's good. It like as a like can't stress simple. Like we talked again, it might sound weird audio wise, but like once you see it, it's gonna make total sense. Like you play one round.
Yeah, you'll get it, and you should get it because it's a fun time. It's a good little challenge, and it's one that like now that I've got it installed, I will leave it installed to just jump into it for 5-20 minutes, whatever. That said, we're gonna rank it over on a list that we call the list, which you can find at thefreecheese.com/the list. If you're watching the video version, it's up on the screen right now. Uh, I'm gonna throw a number out, Matt. You ready?
Hit me.
65. Below Vanquish, above Tokyo Extreme Racer 3.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
I have it as the new 67 between Resident
No
Evil
way!
5 and Siphon Filter.
All right, we were right there. Um, for me, I threw it above Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 because that game's great, but when we played it, we talked about it, we had a tough time kind of figuring out like what is our objective? What are we meant to do? It got really it was easy to get lost in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 in a way that I didn't get lost in some of the other Tokyo Extreme Racer games, where like progression felt like it was gated. And knowing that direct comparison, like Intelligent Cube, I feel like I kind of knew what I was supposed to do all the way through. It's just a matter of getting better at it. And I feel like the more you play it, the better you do get at it, and you're able to make those improvements. But yeah,
I shut my mouth because I want you to let you have your moment in the sun. Because I didn't put it probably where you put it because I thought you would have had Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 above this. So I'm more than happy to come up to you and meet you there.
Yeah.
And then it was just one of those things that we didn't put it above Tokyo. I was like, well, I kind of think I like Resident Evil 5 better. So, but no, I'm 65 is that right? Yeah.
65.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Intelligent Qube. Also known as Karushi in Japan. 661 is the episode number. There you have it. Our 182nd video game ranked on the list. Intelligent Qube takes the 65th spot. A very good video game. You should go play it if you've not played it. It's available on systems. What do we got coming up? Next week is the big one. Or do I not say it yet in case we need to move it?
No, well, you say the game. We hold
Yeah, well,
we hold to alter the title and add a part 1 at the end of it.
Yeah.
I think I can get it. Well, I guess we're in the same boat. You're not too far ahead of me. I just discovered.
Yeah, we're in the same spot. Yeah, so we both got to clear a little bit. But we're wrapping up Final Fantasy 13 to have an episode all about that. So stay tuned for that. It might be a 2-parter. It might be a really long episode. We'll find out soon as we wrap it up here. But I'm excited to have finally gotten through 13 after all these years. So we'll talk about that. Our time spent with the game. And of course, 13 gets the big old ranking as well. I'm really excited to dive into that one because we don't typically do very long video games on the podcast. This is one I've technically been playing for like almost 2 years. And you added it to the list kind of knowing that I was already in the middle of it and that you wanted to play it. And it pushed me to get to the finish line on it. And it's one of those games that's pretty divisive historically. But I think the more that people go back to it, the more they find it's pretty good. So we'll talk through that a little bit next week. And then coming up, we got some other fun stuff. Another PS2 game, some stuff on the Dreamcast making its way. All of that and more. Plus, we've got the aforementioned Catherine just before the end of this quarter. So stay tuned for that as we continue working our way through this here spring season. Until next week, thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you, Matt. See you next time. Bye.